A lot of people were saying this summer they had a lousy garden. And I had some things that didn't do well, but generally speaking, I had a good garden. But I did have a few beds where the results weren't that good. And people thought, oh, it's just a bad summer. It's like, oh, we had lots of heat. We had lots of sun. It was ridiculously hot, sunny, warm. I mean, with the whole place, my province is on fire. We had a lot of heat,
Yep, yep,
and a lot of heat early, right? Like it's not like the worst garden I ever had was 2015 because the soil was still frozen at the end of May, and it just
right.
took forever to get things germinated. And you stick your transplants in, and you didn't realize it, but you were like killing 80% of the root mass of the transplant because soil was
Hmm,
so
hmm.
cold. Um, so my theory was that we just had this massive washout of, according to you, nitrate, and that it's the beds I kept mulched with a really good organic mulch grew really well, and the beds that I didn't have much mulch on, or maybe I just like done something lazy, like put cardboard on it just to keep the weeds down, but there's no nitrogen there, and you have this insane
Yep,
amount of.
yep,
We had a ridiculous amount of rain this summer, over and over, floods, bridges we still
yep,
have not
yep,
been repaired here in Nova Scotia for flooding. Yeah, that was my theory. But anyway,
yep, yep. And yeah, nitrogen is so slippery; it's hard to know exactly where it's all gone.
yes,
But uh, but you're describing a situation where, yeah, warm or hot and dry early, and and then a lot of rain, mid-season on. Um, you've got conditions where the soil, because it dried out, you've got lots of air in the soil, so it's easy for bacteria to convert any ammonium to nitrate. So you get an
okay,
accumulation of nitrate in the soil. You get a heavy rain. If it's a well-drained soil, a gravelly soil, it'll wash that nitrate out, carry
right,
it below the rooting zone. So,
mm,
yes, you had enough there. Plant can't get it because the roots aren't deep enough. The second thing can happen especially if you've got a soil that's got a fair bit of clay in it, doesn't drain that well. The soil saturates. There's bacteria, because nitrate, it's NO3, three oxygens to one nitrate.
okay,
There's bacteria in the soil that say, okay, soil's flooded. We've used up all the oxygen gas. What's the next easiest source of nitrogen, or of oxygen? They'll grab the oxygen off the nitrate.
I
It's what
see.
we call denitrification.
Oh,
Takes that nitrate, turns it back either to nitrogen gas
oh,
or to nitrous oxide.
I see. Probably fun
Yeah.
for a party, but
Well, yeah, we may get back into, nitrous. The trouble with nitrous oxide is it's one of the greenhouse gases.
oh, okay, yes,
Yeah, so we
okay,
don't. Yeah. So doesn't matter whether you've got a well-drained soil or poorly drained soil. Too much rain means you lose nitrogen.
I didn't realize that. So okay, so if your soil's flooded, I mean, this isn't every organism. A lot of organisms will die in flooded, but the I guess anaerobic
Yep,
ones
yep,
can
yep,
can
yep.
find their
Yep. Out of out
air.
of out of those 6 billion bacteria, there's probably 3 billion that either can use nitrate
Right.
or, you know, what they call obligate anaerobes. They can't use oxygen, but they can happily use nitrate. And when they use up all the nitrate, then they go to sulfate.
Right.
And what you get when they take the oxygen off sulfate, they'll release hydrogen sulfide.
Well, that's good.
So,
Yes.
if your soil is, you've got a really wet spot, and you stick the shovel in and it stinks of rotten eggs,
Oh, that's that low tide smell,
that's
right? Ah,
that's
yes.
hydrogen sulfide.
I see.
If you're getting a hydrogen sulfide smell, you're long past having any nitrate left. It's
I see.
it's gone before the bacteria will turn to sulfate.
Right. That's fascinating.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
that's my
it's
thought.
yeah. So those are conditions. Yeah. Those are conditions where, there could have been enough nitrogen in the soil and then you lose it. A lot of natural systems just are not that high in nitrogen to start with.
Right.
If you look at uh, what we get out of the air. So we'll get a little bit of nitrate deposition when you get lightning.
Right.
You've talked about that. You get a thunderstorm, there's lightning. Lightning strike will fix something like 6 kilograms of nitrogen. Uh, you know, but 6 kilograms over the length of a lightning strike is not very much in the rain.
Yes.
We'll get a bit of a ammonia deposition. If you got a hog barn upwind, some of that ammonia that's released from the hog barn will waft over and will land on the soil.
Right. Yeah.
There's free living bacteria in the soil. We'll fix a bit of nitrogen, but there's not a lot of nitrogen from those sources. The big natural sources are the legumes.
Right. Can you explain how they, just for those that don't understand? I mean, farmers use them and gardeners use them, but in nature we've got things like clover. Well, clover, is clover a legume?
Clover is a legume.
Okay. All right, anyway,
Yep.
I'll let you talk. You're the expert.
Yeah. And legumes, what they do is they form a symbiotic relationship with bacteria on the roots.
Right.
So that's what's inside the nodules if you dig up a legume. So if you dig up a clover plant or you dig up a pea plant, you see these little round or oblong, white things stuck to the root. It's not a pest. It's not a nematode. It's the nodules. And actually, when the plant's actually growing, you take one of those nodules and you split it open, it'll be pink on the inside. Because part of the compounds that do the nitrogen fixation in the nodules are iron based. So that's where the pink color comes from when they're active.
Wow.
What the nodules are doing is they're getting sugars from the plant. So you've got a clover plant. It's got nice green leaves. It's photosynthesizing. Some of that sugar is going down to the roots, into the bacteria in the nodule. They're using the energy from the sugars to drive nitrogen fixation. So breaking that nitrogen bond, which takes a fair bit of energy, and releasing ammonium.
Right.
So
they're not. So that nodule it's taking nitrogen out of the air that's in the soil.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. So it's not the leaves pulling air and sending leaves. I always thought it was like the leaves, sucking up air and somehow.
No. It's the leaves photosynthesizing.
Leaves are just fueling.
They're sending the fuel down to drive the process.
So they've got, so they're feeding the thing.
Yep.
That sucks air out of the soil and makes ammonium.
Yep.
And even that, but then you were saying it's not ammonium that the plants use, it's a nitrate.
Well,
so then there's other things hanging around that or is it because it's so close and it's right
there? Yeah, it's right there. Ironically, in the plant itself,
right.
When a plant absorbs nitrate, it converts it back to ammonium to form the amino acids.
Oh, really?
Because it's the amines that form the part of the protein.
Right.
So actually, within the plant itself, some will be converted to nitrate. A lot more of it, in that situation, would be used directly as ammonium.
Right. And when you said plants can't absorb ammonium, you just said it's more difficult because of its positive charge. It's
it doesn't
stuck to your clay particles.
Yeah, it doesn't move to the plant as easily.
Yes.
So plants are adapted to use nitrate.
I see.
But if ammonium flowed as easily as nitrate, plants would quite happily use ammonium.
Right. I see. Hey, if you want to help support everything I'm doing here, go to Vessies.com to buy whatever you need for your garden this year. And use my coupon code GAVS23 to get free shipping as long as there's a pack of seeds in the order and there's no oversized items in the order. Check out the description box of this video for details. You can buy everything you need from Vessies. They have seeds, fruit bushes and trees, soil amendments, pest solutions, tools, clothing, and lots of other stuff too. So if you want to help support everything I'm doing here and they sell something you need, buy it from them using my coupon code, and happy gardening.